Dear Aunt Lucy, Mrs. Bird says bears have 2 birthdays a year, a summer one and a winter one, just like the Queen. That means I get 2 birthday parties every year. So there's a lot of work for the party givers. So I decided to help. Oh dear.
Paddington, how did you get yourself into such a pickle?
Oh, it had nothing to do with pickles, Judy. Streamers are a bit difficult with paws.
Why don't you help Jonathan with the balloons?
All right then, you can take these balloons to Judy.
Balloons are even more difficult than streamers. Oh, perhaps I can help blow them up. Mr. Curry's always saying bears are full of hot air.
Maybe you should help Judy with the streamers.
It's my birthday, and I don't have anything to do.
An urgent package for Mr. P. Brown.
Oh, thank you very much. It was the magic outfit you sent me, Aunt Lucy, and it couldn't have come at a better time. It meant I could help out with my birthday party after all. I'd put on a magic show.
Alakazam, alakazoo, magic's so much fun to do, but how it works, they haven't a clue. Wave your wand, give it a tap, pull a rabbit out of a hat. Take a cake, say the magic word, alakazam, there's a singing bird. Take a coin and cover it well, wave the wand, say the magic spell. Where it goes, nobody knows, and magicians are not likely to tell. Joining rings is a real slick trick. They all come together with just one flick, and then come apart just as quick. Alakazam, alakazoo, magic's so much fun to do, but how it works, they haven't a clue. Oh yeah, alakazam, alakazoo, magic's so much fun to do.
Learning magic was going to be a trick in itself. Using the wand was by far the easiest part to learn. The instructions said to wave it around and say the magic word. Abracadabra! My jar of marmalade. It's disappeared. Disappearing marmalade. Disappearing marmalade. The instruction book doesn't say anything about disappearing marmalade. It must be a very powerful spell to make a whole jar vanish. It'll be a very good trick for tonight. But I'll have to persuade Mrs. Bird to give me another jar. Abracadabra!
I'll give you abracadabra. And be careful with that wand or you'll have someone's eye out.
There's some interesting tricks in this book of yours, Paddington. I don't mind which ones you perform this evening, as long as you don't try sawing anyone in half.
When the guests started arriving, our neighbour, Mr. Curry, soon realised we were having a party.
So, it's the bear's birthday, is it? I'm sure he must have forgotten to send me my invitation.
Mrs. Bird says Mr. Curry is always looking out for anything that's free, especially when it's something to eat. Ladies and gentlemen, as I couldn't find Mr. Brown's saw, for my next trick...
But you haven't done one yet, Bear.
It's one thing for that Mr. Curry to come to a party he wasn't invited to, but to take the first helping of Paddington's cake, it's disgusting.
Perhaps Paddington will make him disappear.
I take 1 egg...
I wish he'd take something that would be easier on the carpet.
...and place it on the table, so. Abracadabra!
Of course, it's all done by sleight of paw, but very good for a bear. Now, can you make it come back?
Abracadabra!
Excellent. Now, that's what I call a good trick. Making people think he was going to find an egg, and it was a jar of marmalade all the time.
I I'm afraid I haven't had time to practice the disappearing flowers trick. So there may be a few minutes break. Disappearing flowers. Disappearing flowers.
What on earth can he be doing?
Did he say a few minutes or a few hours?
Rather a slow trick, this one. I think I may have another piece of cake.
Are you all right in there, Mr. Brown?
It's all dark and I can't read my instruction book.
Let's get you out, Paddington.
Quite a good trick, the disappearing bear. Very unusual. But I don't see what the flowers are for.
For my next trick, I would like a watch.
Are you sure? Wouldn't anything else do?
You can have mine if you like, Bear. Only be careful. It's very valuable and... I hope you know what you're doing, Bear.
That was when I read, for this trick to work, it is necessary to have a second watch. Preferably a junk one.
Bear! 20 years I've had this watch, and now look at it. This will cost someone a pretty penny.
Nonsense. It's one you bought from me for 50 pence 6 months ago. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, telling lies to a young bear.
Ugh!
Oh dear. I think that's my disappearing egg. It must have reappeared again.
I've never been so insulted in all my life. It's the last time I shall ever come to one of your birthday parties, Bear.
Well, well, Paddington did make him disappear after all.
Cricket? Bat?
Paddington, I didn't know you and Mr. Gruber went to Australia to learn about insects and night-flying creatures.
We didn't. I was writing notes about the other cricket, the one you play. We'd gone to Australia to see Ayers Rock for Mr. Gruber's book, The World and Its Wonders. Then we visited an old friend of his, James Sinclair. And straight away we found ourselves in trouble again, and all because of a game of cricket. Mr. Sinclair is headmaster of a boys' school, and we arrived to find he had a problem on his hands. And as you know by now, I'm always happy to help people with their problems.
It's all highly irregular, Mr. Sinclair. He's not even an old bear, let alone an old boy.
I know the umpire's decision is final, but the old boys' team is one man short.
He looks very comfortable where he is. You think he'll want to play?
Oh, yes. Mr. Brown likes anything new.
In any case, he's sure to be a big crowd pleaser. I haven't heard of a bear playing cricket before.
Mr. Sinclair's school was having a fundraiser, and one of the events was a cricket match between the school's old boys and a local team.
Paddington, we were wondering if you'd care to play for the old boys this afternoon.
Oh, yes, please, Mr. Sinclair.
What say we try to pick up the pace, mates? Do we have a match or don't we?
We just recruited our last team member. Paddington Brown meets Smasher Knowles, captain of the other team.
He doesn't look like much. Probably won't even fit in a set of pads. His legs are too short. No need to get offended, mate. Let's get started.
Since you are kindly helping out, would you care to do the honours?
Thank you. I shall.
I say, mate, you don't keep the coin, you toss it to see who bats first. Heads?
A very good toss, Mr. Brown. Now, all we have to do is find it.
Wait, it's stuck to my fur.
Stuck to your fur?
I'm afraid I've got marmalade on it.
Well, heads it is. We bat first.
I was out there for 2 hours, and the ball only came my way once. And that was over the top of my head. And then...
No! That wasn't a catch, it landed in his lap.
I'd have to say it's not a standard catch. But a catch is a catch. You're out.
These pads should protect your shins. Don't forget to watch the ball. And whatever you do, keep a straight bat. And I hope your bails stay on.
Could you please say that again, Mr. Gruber?
All right, Paddington, you're in. It all depends on you. We need 11 runs to win. There are only 8 balls left.
Could you please say that again, Mr. Sinclair?
Never mind. Just get out there and hit that ball.
The crowd was very welcoming, which was more than I could say for Mr. Knowles, who looked like he wanted to get even because I caught him out. It was easy to see why they called him Smasher.
I can't bowl if he hides behind his pads. I can't see the wicket.
If you want us their own way of playing the game, this young bear is entitled to his.
A boundary! 6 runs! That means we only need another 5.
He didn't hit the ball, I hit the bat.
And I think you've chipped it.
He wasn't holding his bat properly.
There isn't anything in the rules saying you must hit the ball with the flat side of the bat. It's 4 runs and the end of your over, Mr. Knowles. Watch him closely. You haven't met this bowler yet.
I haven't met him yet. How do you do? I'm Paddington Brown from darkest Peru.
That's odd. What happened to the ball?
Something landed in my hat.
What's this?
Thank you. Don't mind if I do.
I think we'd better start the over again.
I hope that bear is fast on his feet. We only need 1 more run to win.
I'm afraid running is not one of Mr. Brown's strong suits. Smasher Knowles is right. Bears do have short legs.
I found if you hold the bat the wrong way round, it works very well. Perhaps if you stood in the way of the ball more.
Oh dear. If we carry on at this rate, the old boys aren't going to win. Run, Mr. Brown! Run!
Excuse me, but I've just come from there.
It's not quite in the rule book, but I believe in view of the circumstances, I shall award the old boys half a run and give them the game. There seems to be something sticky on the bails.
Mr. Gruber said I should take care they don't fall, so I put some marmalade on both sets. I find it can be used for all sorts of things. Mr. Sinclair was so grateful, he even made me an honorary old bear.
We must tell Daddy. It's his school reunion next weekend, and they'll be playing a cricket match.
Who knows? They may be 1 man short. How about it, Paddington? On the other hand, perhaps you should retire at your peak.
Very well, Paddington. You may stir the batter now.
You don't need an electric mixer with me around, Mrs. Bird.
Yes, I can see that.
Paddington, would you like to dig a hole in the flower bed at the front of the house? I have something to plant.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Brown. Bears are good at digging. I'll go as soon as I'm finished with Mrs. Bird's batter.
Thank you. You're such a dear.
But I'm not a deer, Mrs. Brown. I'm a bear.
There it is. 32 Windsor Gardens. I am looking for one Paddington Brown.
Hello.
Thankfully, there is only one.
Why? Isn't he at school?
Because he's a bear. He's never been to school.
We at the Board of Education are aware of that, and we have decided that it's high time he did. Even young bears have impressionable minds that need to be moulded in the pursuit of knowledge. We shall expect to see him at school first thing tomorrow morning. Otherwise, certain steps will be taken. Good day to you.
I'm going to school. Dub-de-dub-de-dub-de-dub-de-dub.
Can't believe it. Paddington's going to school. It'll be so different not having him at home.
I certainly hope so.
Right, Andrews J.
Here, sir.
Brown P. Brown P. Oh, who are you?
Paddington Brown, sir.
Right, so you are Brown P.
But I'm not a pea. I'm a bear.
Ah, yes, of course, the new pupil. Smith F., show Brown to Mr. Eustace's class, please.
You missed the roll. Oh, don't worry, Mr. Eustace. I have something better than rolls. Marmalade sandwiches. They're much tastier.
Marmalade sandwiches?
Would you like to try this one? I have tested it.
Certainly not. These are going straight to the headmaster.
Do you think you'll be able to manage them all so soon after breakfast?
Silence! You are not here to eat marmalade sandwiches. You are here to learn the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic.
But that's only one R. Writing begins with a W, and arithmetic with an A. My Aunt Lucy taught me that before I left Peru. Which is here. She's living in a home for retired bears.
Is she indeed? I must say I wish you were there with her. And then he gave me this look. He calls it his hard stare. He claims his Aunt Lucy taught it to him.
Come, come. Brown is new to all this. He needs something challenging to do.
I could make some more marmalade sandwiches.
I think Mr. Eustace should make you his helper.
If you insist, Headmaster. We need fish for our next class, so be sure that...
I'll get some. I often do Mrs. Bird's shopping.
Yes.
How long has he been gone?
Nearly 2 hours. I do hope he's all right.
It isn't Paddington I'm worried about. It's the school.
And this is the air bladder of the fish. As soon as Brown returns, I shall show you exactly where...
I'm back.
What is this? I wanted fish. These are fish fingers.
But this way they're all ready to eat.
I wanted a raw fish. This is a biology class. We are supposed to dissect the fish.
Dissect? I've never had dissected fish before. What does it taste like? I was told to buy some fish. Nobody said anything about it having to be raw.
You see, Mr. Eustace, in dealing with children and young bears, you must always explain things carefully.
How about we try having you as my helper one last time?
Oh, yes, Mr. Eustace. Aunt Lucy always says I should keep trying.
I'm sure, especially with one as trying as you. Now hold this tin until I ask you for it. It's very important you keep that tin safely in your pocket until after lunch. And I have another job for you.
Very good, Mr. Eustace. I see you're keeping young Brown busy.
If I keep him busy, he can't drive me crazy.
Excellent. For every problem, there's a solution.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm very pleased you're starting to fit in, Brown. After all, you'll be with us for years.
Years? But I thought I was only here for the day.
Very amusing, Brown. I must tell the others, only for the day.
Years? I have to stay at school for years. Oh, well, I better be a good helper to Mr. Eustace. I know. I'll polish his tin.
Anything the matter, Brown?
I think I may have dropped Mr. Eustace's tin into the noodle pot by mistake.
That was a tin of worms!
collect your things, Master Brown. You're going home.
A uniform, you say?
Yes. I'm sorry, but every student must wear a uniform. The rules are thankfully very clear.
But Paddington is a bear. We'll never find a uniform to fit him. It's the legs, you know.
That's what we'd hoped. Thought. So I'm afraid he won't be allowed to return to school, and I have so notified the authorities. Oh, by the way, we found the tin of worms under the table. The worms and Mr. Eustace are doing just fine. Good day.
Good day.
Has anyone seen the marmalade sandwich that was behind this cushion? I shared all of mine with the headmaster.
Here it is. A place for everything and everything in its place, is what I always say.
And thankfully, Paddington, your place is right here at 32 Windsor Gardens.